You know, the heart of this business is making people feel beautiful. It's not about external beauty or what the world sees as beautiful. As long as your heart is beautiful, it changes what people see on the outside. And when you treat them that way, they begin to feel that way on the inside. And then as they begin to feel that way on the inside, you'll see it come out. It'll come out in a smile. Sometimes it comes out with just this little twist in the mirror, and you can see it in that moment. And you can see that they see what we see. Sometimes for the first time. I'm Suzanne Lake, and I am the owner of Gigi Formals here in Dublin, Georgia. Gigi Formals is a formal wear boutique, but our biggest market is prom and pageant. Prom is like a pinnacle moment in these high school girls' lives. They've seen it since they were little girls, and they've grown up envisioning and dreaming what their prom night would look like and what their dress would look like and how they would feel. And so it is our mission and our goal to make them feel everything and more of what they dreamed and envisioned. From the time I was very little, I loved beautiful things. I loved things that sparkled, things that shined.
But the first thing I remember about Suzanne thinking about something was pretty is I was trying to potty train her. And I had her in a stroller in a store one day, and we were in the children's clothing section, and they had these really fancy little girl underpants with ruffles and everything hanging on hangers that were like at her eye level. And she goes like, "Oh, Mom, want those, want those." And I said, "You start TTing in the potty and you can have them." And we went home, and from that day forward, she was potty trained.
And I've just always loved beautiful things.
So we were 14. Somehow I tricked her into going on a date. I saw her grow up from a girl to a young woman to a mom.
More than anything, I always wanted to be a wife and a mom. Like, that was my number one. Got married in 2002, and within the next year, we were expecting our first child.
So when we had our first child, Suzanne really fell in love with these kids' clothes.
I remember KB, like 3 years old, and everything she did was in boutique clothing. It was just in me to dress them that way.
I'm kind of an entrepreneur at heart, and so I was like, well, if I got to spend this much money per year on kids' clothes, why don't I try to make money off of these things? So I told her, I said, instead of you driving an hour to go buy clothes, why don't we see if we can bring that business here to Dublin?
So this is Kaylee's closet. This is where I would say we probably started.
She did really good. Our kids had all the clothes that they needed.
And I think it was in that moment that I realized that I could sell.
She liked then to dress other kids. She wanted to dress, her neighbors' kids and her friends' kids.
I loved what I had, and I believed in the products that I carried. I mean, I knew exactly what colors needed to go on which kids and which outfits, and I was able to show that to the mothers, and it just came very naturally. I was just showing them things that I loved and things that would be beautiful on their children.
My name is Shelby Sanders.
Miss Shelby was a florist. I probably one of the most talented florists that I've ever known.
I love flowers, I love doing flowers, I love decorating. And during that time, I opened Garden Gate.
Before Gigi Formals, it was called Garden Gate. I bought my junior prom dress from there.
I knew who Suzanne was. I had done her wedding.
And I had a 2-inch binder full of my dream wedding, because I had been planning my wedding my whole life, basically. And it was the most beautiful wedding that I could have dreamed up. One day I was at Kaylee's closet by myself, just running the store, and the phone rang, and Miss Shelby was on the other end of the line, and she said, "Hey Suzanne, this is Miss Shelby, and I've been praying about who I want to sell my store to. And I remember you and that binder and how you had everything planned and together." She said, "I've never forgotten that. And I just think that the Lord is telling me that you're the one I'm supposed to sell the business to." And I think it was one of those moments where you're like, okay, maybe this is something. So on March 17th of 2008, we took over ownership of Garden Gate at the time, now Gigi Formals.
Well, I'm just so thankful that I was blessed to have this business, and then I was blessed for Suzanne to come along and pick up and take and do such a wonderful job. I love them and I appreciate them.
I was 27 years old. I mean, I didn't know anything. I didn't know vendors. I didn't know how to order. I didn't know how to run the register. And so I came in kind of as the boss. I had no idea where I belonged in this business at the time. And so I go into the back and we're standing there and there's a little doorbell and the doorbell would ring in the back with a camera. I went to the front and it was a bride. I sold her a dress. I mean, I thought that's what we were supposed to do, you know. So I found her a dress and found something she loved, and I came to the back and I was like, can someone come show me how to use the register? And I remember all of them just looking at me and they're like, you sold a dress? Learning to buy was one of the biggest things that I had to do to find my place there, was to buy the right type of inventory. They would say, that'll never sell. And the price points went up, a little more expensive. They're like, nobody will ever spend that kind of money on a dress. And it was me just having to be bold enough to say, I'm gonna try it. And it worked.
It just grew. We made a room in the back into like a little nursery. So we had staff there that would help her with the children during the day. And so she was able to be on the sales floor and have the children at the store with her.
KB, my oldest, she has been a driver in this business from the time she was a little girl.
I'm KB Lake and I am the daughter. I would beg my mom, like, please let me go out on the floor and sell. That's all I ever wanted to do.
She actually began an Instagram page for GG Formals that I did not know she was running.
I mean, they were horrible pictures, like really.
It looked like a 10-year-old was running it because she was.
And now it has over 30,000 followers.
Now she sells. She's one of my top salespeople. She's been an instrumental part of the business. You know, honestly, in the beginning, I did not know what was going to be my heart in the business. Like, what was going to be my why? Why was I there? Eventually and quickly, the why developed into to just make girls feel beautiful. To let them know that they are valuable and that they have worth and that they're created in the image of God, and that makes them beautiful.
Everyone deals with insecurities.
It's hard to feel beautiful.
I've always struggled shopping because I am a very short girl. I've always struggled with being insecure about my height.
I didn't really like the shopping experience. I'm not exactly a girly girl, but whenever we would go to GG's, it was a special experience because I knew I was gonna be seen.
All these girls coming in, they see the TikToks, they see the Instagrams, they see the Facebooks of what beauty is defined in their generation. That's not the definition of beauty.
What is beauty to you?
A lot of people think that we're just talking about makeup and we're just talking about outer appearances, and it's not that. It's the strength from within.
I feel like beauty comes from the inside.
Beauty means like happiness.
Beauty means to me that you like show your true self and don't try to be someone that you're not.
To me, beauty is confidence. Beauty means grace and kindness.
To me, beauty means passion.
Happiness.
Confidence.
Being yourself.
Seeing a girl come in with like sadness about her, like you can tell she's not very confident in herself, and me telling her that there's a dress hanging on the racks for her.
I mean, we have lots of tearful moments because the girl starts crying and we all start crying because she's never seen herself that way before. She's never thought she was beautiful.
Our heart is for our girls, our heart is for our customers. So much is about helping girls know who they are.
It's our mission to make every girl feel beautiful in her own skin.
It really does make you feel like you're making an impact on somebody.
It's something that I don't even know how to describe. Like, they just make me feel so beautiful in those dresses.
Feeling beautiful is really up to me.
I feel the most beautiful when I'm with my friends.
To me, I have felt the most beautiful after giving birth.
I think I feel the most beautiful when people tell me I look like my granny and my mom.
This is more than just a dress. This is something to give you hope, so that when you look into the mirror, you are so proud of yourself. And that proudness and that confidence, it quiets all the voices.
Suzanne reminds me every day of who I want to be and who I should be.
But Suzanne is so much more than just a business owner. I still to this day look at her as like a second mom to me.
She reminds me each and every day to empower women.
So our symbol has become the pink rose. And every girl that buys a dress from us, we give them a pink rose. The girl that sells her the dress hands it to her and says, the rose is a symbol of beauty, and we want you to remember that we think that you're more beautiful than the most beautiful rose, and that, you know, beauty ultimately comes from your heart. And as long as you keep your heart beautiful, it will always shine for those around you to see.